What's up, Mets fans? The microphones are on this week. I didn't start the show without turning the microphones on for a change. Julia walked in with plenty of time, about 45 seconds before I hit the little button
All
here.
we need.
I was live on Instagram saying like, hey, it's 11:50. We're supposed to go live at noon, and maybe Julia will be here in time. And then she comments, I'll be there in a second. So you shouldn't have been doing that while you were driving.
I was at a light.
Okay, good.
I was not moving.
We'll give you a pass.
I was good.
So happy Tuesday to you, wherever you may be. I'm Darren. That's Julia. This is Orange and Blue Thing. If you don't know by now, it's a little show we do each week, somewhat about the Mets and maybe about walking dogs or dirt bikes. But
pretty good lately.
I mean, there's been a lot to talk about lately, Julia. It's very exciting.
Hold on. Can we, before we get into Mets stuff, what's happening? What is this? Is this a crisis? What is this?
I said, wait, are you mentioning this because on the live on Instagram, I just asked Lizzie if she liked my facial hair.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear that.
Okay.
So I literally was just looking at you for the first time.
I cannot grow a beard. This is the best you're ever going to get out of me growing any kind of beard. So I haven't shaved in like 2 weeks. I was away last weekend at surprise, a dirt bike race. And I was like, fuck it, I don't need to shave before that. And I just haven't done it since. But you know what's bad about it? I mean, not only is it thin, it's also like half gray, half brown.
It's salt and pepper.
Maybe a little reddish. I thought maybe it was blonde, but it's not. It's gray, right? I don't even know. So whatever. Maybe I'll shave this week. We'll see.
I'm not shaming you at all. I just have never seen you with facial hair.
I wish.
So
I wish I
was
could grow a beard.
I didn't know if it was like for a thing.
No.
Or just
it's just
pure
because
laziness.
I was lazy and I didn't do it yet. But I wish. I'm
Okay.
jealous of anyone who can grow a beard. And I cannot. So the Mets are 75-41, 4.5 games up on the Braves. And the Mets are 8-2 over the last 10. And guess what? They have not lost a series against the NL East the entire season. A perfect 16-0, which I believe has not been done since the Braves in like 99. So as long as the Mets win the next 2 of 3, they'll at least split the series. They will not lose the series.
Have they split a series yet?
I don't think so. I think they've won every series. Well, they've split series, but not against the NL East. I don't think. Maybe the fact checkers want to chime in and let us know if that is true or not. But 16 straight against NL East. And you know what? Like we talk about it all the time. You got to beat the teams in your division. Next year, things are going to change where you're playing your division less and less.
Right.
We're going to automatically be playing the Tigers every year and the White Sox every year, which is going to be crazy.
I'm
very
a little silly.
Excited and curious to see what the schedule is going to look like when it comes out, which it's normally out by now. Now. End of August, early September, it comes out when we start. In years past, when we weren't getting excited for the playoffs,
I know this was like the most exciting time of the year.
My biggest day. I'm like, all right, this season's like whatever. Fuck this season.
Right.
Let's worry about next year. Where are we going? This and that. Let me start the planning. So you know that kind of takes the back burner when you're getting excited for October.
Yeah, I guess so. And I mean, it could have just been they're a little behind on everything because the season started late, and I think it's
just a clusterfuck. I don't think they really thought it through. Like, all right, the amount of travel that comes into play, like. When you're going to play a certain, let's say you go to the West Coast and you play, the Dodgers and the Padres back to back, or the Giants or whoever. Now you got to factor in, all right, we are going to play the Angels every year.
Right.
We are going to play Oakland every year. Not two. We're going to alternate years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking planning.
It's a lot. And I was literally just thinking, I'm like, I cannot think of a job I would want less than the person who has to coordinate like all of the flights, all of the accommodations, and like making it work so each team isn't like exhausted every single day, like enough off days in between. Like fans
always like to say like, oh, boo-hoo, you're a multi-millionaire and you play a sports field event. I get it, but like
you shit on them when they don't play well.
Right.
So
how many minutes in?
4
minutes in.
Wow.
That was the earliest ever.
We are getting earlier and earlier.
I kind of like that thing. I mean, it's annoying. It's really not professional to have like a random Windows noise.
Whatever. It's our thing.
It's part of the show.
It's our shtick.
Earliest ever. So if you have the under on the random noise from Microsoft that tells me to update something, which I always say I do not want to update this.
No.
Stop talking to me about it.
Enough.
It doesn't listen. So did you remember last week? We're backtracking a little bit here, but the Mets had the doubleheader at Citi Field against the Braves, right? I think last weekend. Was that what it was?
Yep.
And then they had the Sunday game. The Sunday was a 4:00 start. People were like, well, why are they playing at 4:00?
So they can sleep.
Buck said, we are not playing a day game after a day-night doubleheader.
Of course, because that's logical.
Good on Buck.
Yeah.
So I heard through the grapevine, I didn't click on the tweet last night, but I saw I get like the little alert, and on my freaking watch, look at this. I'm getting alerts on my watch still, which I do not want. But I got an alert last night that said Gelbs did a little deep dive into the lotto ticket thing.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Were they not lotto tickets?
I have no idea.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. And they looked like lotto tickets.
Right. So
I was completely
I'll
convinced
have to
that
go
they
back
were.
and find out what actually happened. But this was all over the internet yesterday. So
and if you pretend they're lotto tickets, even if they're not, it's such a funny video. Because Buck's face is like, what is that?
Like, he double taked. Is it taked or took?
I think in that context it should be taked. Just
double taked?
Is take even a word? It's not a word, but in that context, like the phrase is double take. So it's like double take.
All right, so you haven't seen it. Look it up yet. I got to find out the backstory on it. But so when Buck came out, it looked like Pete Alonso handed Buck lotto tickets.
Yeah,
and
he was
like,
making a pitching change, and Pete Alonso literally just pulled lotto tickets out of his pocket and handed them to Buck, and Buck was like, what? And then it just ends.
But I think Gelb said it wasn't lotto tickets. I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna go with it was no matter what.
Yeah, in my mind, it was lotto tickets.
I don't care what Gelb says. They were lotto tickets.
Gelb is wrong. We're right.
So we do have actually a lot to talk about. Last week we went over the hour, and it took me, if you noticed, it took me all day to trim and get that up onto Instagram.
That snuck up on me. We gotta set an alarm or something so it doesn't happen.
It's in the corner
again.
here. You know what it is? Like we start rambling and going on and on about whatever the hell
I can't see that, so I can't help you.
It says we're 7 minutes in. So the whole issue is people are like, well, why is it such an hour firm, deadline? Not that Instagram is really the greatest platform to watch long format videos anyway,
right? But
we like to have it up there, and an hour is the max.
You know what? Let's request the fact checkers give us a 5-minute warning at 12:55. Tell us it's 12:55.
Okay, so the fact checkers are also saying, we got Mark Beck checking in. Thanks for being our producer on the comments here. Mark Beck says supposedly it was defensive positioning cards.
Don't buy it.
Lotto
tickets.
Does anyone else know exactly what it was? But whatever. We're saying there were lotto tickets.
If you look at the video, it's what they look like scratch offs. Like
totally.
Whatever.
That would be hilarious. Like, let's just fuck with Buck. I think that it's great. We talked about it last week too, with like the camera following Marte for the group shot, and then down the line for everyone gets their handshake from Buck.
Mm-hmm.
He's so serious in the dugout that seems like the time where he finally gets to release and like smile.
And granted,
and enjoy
that
the
pitching
game.
Change came in the top of the 9th inning when they had like a substantial lead.
Right,
it was getting dicey, but like you knew it was fine. So yeah. Lotto tickets for sure. Checking in here into the comments. We got Philip watching from Germany. I don't know what time it is in Germany, but that's pretty freaking awesome that Germany.
We put together this little show each week and you guys check in from wherever you may be. So I think that's freaking awesome. So thanks for watching. Next weekend, I'm probably going to go with no, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you going to Old Timers Day at Citi Field on August 27th?
I am working every weekend the rest of the summer. So unfortunately,
all right.
August is my busy
guess what?
season.
You know what?
This is
guys,
known.
Mark it down right now. August 27th, automatic win because Julia is not going to watch the game. What's this thing you were telling me about?
No. They lose when I don't watch.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That was what happened last night.
You're going to watch the game.
Yeah.
But you're just not going to be there.
I won't be there. I don't need to be present. I just need to watch. But
I didn't know that.
It's my thing that I don't know. I feel like a lot of people probably get this, especially when the team is good, like down the line. Do you feel like if I need to watch the game, if I don't watch, like if I watch, maybe they'll do better. Like I get
what I think is funny? Like I was away this past weekend. I didn't make a big deal of it that I wasn't going to go to the outing. I didn't want it to be like,
you have a crisis over every time if you can't go, and you did the
because
right
I
thing.
didn't go to the one last year, last game of the
fine,
season.
But whatever, you did the right thing, and no one cared. No one noticed.
Yeah.
Who?
Lizzie swears to not tell me, but people were talking shit last year at the final game of the year. I had that race the next morning in Jersey.
Well, this last one, did anyone say anything?
I didn't mention it.
Well, that's the key.
Well, I don't know, not that I've heard of,
right.
But when the season, the motocross season came out, that whatever people want to care and know about it.
Yeah.
My buddy's got his pro card, which means like he can now try to qualify for the pro national.
Fun.
And he needs help in the pits. I was like, I'll go.
Yeah.
And then so I agreed to that. And then the schedule came out. It's like, shit, we have an outing that day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, I guess I can miss an outing. I've been to 130 something outings. I can miss one, so I didn't go to the outing, and I went to I raced on Friday and Sunday. He raced on Saturday.
Good for you.
And whatever. So I didn't go to the outing. And I was watching obviously online. So I see Shu, because also Andrew couldn't make it.
I know.
For Andrew not to make it and I wasn't there.
Down the two Top Guns.
Not that we're like by any means in charge of anything, but like I do the flags after scores chant, and he starts the strikeout chant. So Zappa was doing the flag and Shu was doing the strikeouts, and Shu was phenomenal.
Yeah. Oh
Shu
my
was
God.
great.
Shu.
He was in every shot.
The audio of Shu doing the strikeout
He's like,
chants, I had tears down my face. I wasn't expecting it. The first time I heard it, I was like, this man.
But it's, DeGrom night, and Kelly went, and I just wasn't there. But
Scherzer night.
No, it was DeGrom on Saturday night.
Oh, this one. I thought you were
DeGrom.
talking about the doubleheader.
No, it was DeGrom on Saturday night, and Shu was doing his thing, as was everybody else.
Right.
But whoever seems to be leading it is always the one that gets like the FaceTime on TV.
Uh-huh.
So they even had like a slow-mo of shit. Like I've never once seen a slow-mo reaction shot of the strikeout chant.
Yeah, me either.
And we do this all the time. We did not invent the strikeout chant.
No.
Shout out to the king, Mike Cassiano, Upper Deck, has been to like 1 billion baseball games. He does that, and he holds the he for like a minute.
I can't do it. I can't keep up with him.
So once we started, our group in center field, it kind of migrated down to us, and we always give a shout out to Mike when we can. So Mike invented the strikeout chant.
Yes.
We kind of just brought it into popularity as far as like
is kind of
television's concerned.
What he'd want.
Yeah.
Right? Is for it to become a thing across the whole. I don't know why it hasn't become a thing across the whole stadium.
I think it would be cool. Well, you know what it is? People don't know what they show it on TV, but they don't explain what you can't hear it.
But also, like, just the crowd that's in the ballpark. If it's like a DeGrom game where there's like 12 strikeouts, so you get the gist of it after like the third one.
Yeah.
Join in. It's fun.
Right.
It's
Well,
great.
people do. There's a video. I think I put it on YouTube years ago. There's a kid sitting down the right field line behind the Mets dugout, and it was an outing day, and the mom videotaped him doing it because you could hear it, like the echo.
Yeah.
I don't know where the woo came from. I don't really like the woo. I don't do the woo at the end of it.
So the woo.
Do you partake in the woo?
I do, but my recollection was it used to be something a little vulgar. Like we were in our rowdier days, we were a little more aggressive.
In your face, yeah,
bitch.
something like that. Yeah,
it was in your face, bitch. And then we were like, we need to change that. But then it felt empty to not do anything after it. So then it just became a woo.
Yeah, I don't do the woo.
Yeah.
You know what I also don't know? I don't join in on. I don't want to shit on Andrew, but I don't ever take part in the I believe.
I believe. I don't remember when that started. But
it was because it's a soccer. It was like right after the soccer USA, whatever.
But I feel like I remember it being a thing in 2015, and it was more fun and like passionate, like when it was like a big.
But I like his consistency. He's like, I'm doing it. I'm doing it after every game, no matter what.
I feel like I'll get into it as we get towards the end of this season. If there's like a game where they clinch, postseason wins, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Lucho. He hates the woo as well. I don't do the woo. I mean, I'm not in charge by any means to tell you what to do, but if you want to do the woo, go ahead.
How do you feel about the woo?
We are going to get to a poll in a little bit here, but take a look at what I printed out for you for Old Timers Day. It's a little tough for you guys to see on the screen here, but I'm sure you can find this online. I also saw, I think I had it on the screen here for a second. Tacoma put it up, the official roster for Old Timers Day. As I told you, maybe
this is kind of stacked.
Yeah, it's crazy. Months ago, Cespedes was not coming to this.
I know.
So if you could see here, he's left off the roster here. Some people were also left off for COVID reason, like vaccine. Are they still doing this?
No, that can't be.
Yeah, I swear to God, I read somewhere one of the other beat writers.
I am looking at the names on this list, and I'm willing to bet a good chunk of them are not vaccinated.
Well, I don't know. I read that. It may have been Puma. I don't know. I read it online. Type the word vaccine.
Yeah.
And Old Timers Day, and something will come up. But
no, we're not going to get into that.
Well, I don't care about whatever.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, I can hear you. This is not a vaccine show, whatever. I'm just saying that's what I heard. Some people were left off, but I knew once Cespedes knew this was not a tryout to be on the team, he was not coming. So Cespedes is left off. Out of these names, who as a Mets fan would you be most excited to see? And it's crazy to think that, we just talked about my gray facial hair.
I know.
That the old timers are younger than me.
Daniel Murphy, Josh Tolley.
Yep. Jose Reyes. I'm older than him. Like a year.
So, in terms of excited to see play or just see back at the stadium?
I don't think they're all going to play because, you know what? Like
some of these, they can't.
Well, you can't field this many people, number one.
Right.
And, the managers aren't going to play. There's going to be, I'm hoping that this means that everyone's going to be in uniform.
Yeah.
At least
to
be introduced and come out.
Honestly, what I did not expect him to be here, and I think it's awesome, is Pedro Martinez.
The fuck's going on? Do not call me during business hours. Say it again.
I didn't expect Pedro to be there. Pedro Martinez.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
Well, why do I keep calling? If I press ignore, just leave me a voicemail and I'll call you back.
Is it someone you know?
No, it's just no caller ID is the worst. I'm never going to answer a phone number that has no caller ID. Yeah, a lot of names on here. The managers, Terry, Joe Torre, Willie Randolph, and Bobby V will be there. It's gonna be weird to see Joe Torre back in a Mets uniform after
Yeah.
his reign in the Bronx. Outfielders: Agbayani, Andy Chavez, Cliff Floyd, Steve Henderson, Cleon Jones. That's awesome. Lee Mazzilli, Kevin Mitchell, Jay Payton, Art Shamsky, Darryl Strawberry, Ron Swoboda, Frank Thomas, and Mookie Wilson. Mookie's been like a popular face
Yeah.
that's stuck around
Mookie's
with
been
the
around.
alumni forever. I'm going to tell you who after the show, but we
Okay.
are going to have someone on this list on our show next week.
Really?
So I had a call with Jay Horowitz a little while ago. See, this is the kind of stuff we could have talked about if you didn't get here 45 seconds
Hold on.
before the show.
I would
But
like to pause. No.
I like that you
I
didn't
would like
because
to
now I'm
pause
breaking
and
news
say,
to you.
every week Darren asks me what time is good. And I'll always say, one's probably better, but if you need to do 12, 12 is fine.
Right.
And you say 12 and I make 12 work.
Good.
I tell you,
I'm
one
glad
would
you're
be
here.
better, but I'll make it work. So we're here.
So next week, I shot 2 names out to Jay, and he's like, I'm on it. What time? So next week, if we could do noon next week, because I already told him we were. I said we would need this alumni, old timer, to be on the show by around like 12:15 for like 15 minutes. So next week, mark your calendars. Talking about Old Timers Day. Watch, she's going to tell me she can't.
No, I'll make it work. I'll make it work.
If you can't, we'll do a little bit.
No,
later.
it's fine. It's just I have to be out here. Like 12 is good. I have to be out like at 1. So
no problem. No problem. So next week, mark your calendars. Someone from this extensive, very impressive roster that the Mets and Jay were able to wrangle together for Old Timers Day will be on the show next week. So that will be fun. We'll get some fun stories and some fun questions. We'll ask the audience, our fact checkers, if you want to chime in with something. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time.
Now I'm just gonna be thinking about who is it.
I'll have to tell you after the show.
Whole show.
Well, I gave Jay one name, and he's like, "Well, hit me with 2 just in case, because not everyone's available,
Right.
And we'll go from there." So, and if you think about it, we've already had on our shows over the years, we've already had Murphy, so it's not going to be Murphy.
Right. It's not Murphy.
We had Murphy on the show last year.
Yes.
David Wright's not even on the list. It's not going to be David Wright.
Right.
I've already done some stuff with Ron Darling. It's not going to be Ron Darling. It's not going to be Piazza. So we're doing like a process of elimination. If anyone wants to like guess in the comments, which is going to be very difficult because this list is insane.
Is it someone that I watched play in my lifetime?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
That narrows it down. Okay.
Whatever. We'll talk about it after this show, and we'll get like a little game. A little whatever. We'll figure it out for next week. It's going to be fun. So if you haven't bought your tickets yet, go to Mets.com. I'm sure there's tickets available. I'm sure. I hope there is, because I haven't bought mine yet. But
yeah,
going to be a fun time. Come back next week and watch the show. So, oh my God, I'm a mess today. And you know what I usually ask you when you show up?
Yeah.
McKay, you got to do anything before we go live? Got to go to the bathroom or whatever? And you always say no.
Right.
And I forgot to go. But not that I have to go right now, but I might have to go before 1 o'clock. So we'll see.
Okay.
I'm getting old. So this morning we ran out of hand soap at the house.
Oh,
and
sanitary.
I have extra.
Have you taken care of that?
Oh yeah, I'm good. We had extra. I'm just saying we ran out of the bottle that we had. And I got rid of it and went under the drawer and picked one out. It was the pumpkin spice. And then when you walked in, it reminded me, shit, it is almost fall. You're already wearing like a denim jacket with a hood on it.
I know.
You're into the fall. You like the fall.
So I've changed over time. I have nothing against the season of summer. I don't mind the heat or anything like that. I love a good beach day. But for me, the summer is the most chaotic, miserable time of the year with work, where it's just when I dread the summer because I'm like, I'm not going to have a life. I'm going to be stressed 24/7. I am so excited for that to end. So now to me, fall is like things calm down. It's just pumpkins and candles and
yes,
grapes.
But I have to think of it this way too. In your line of work, even though it is blazing hot and finally the heat broke and it's not as crazy lately.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather be walking dogs in the summer than like in the snow and rain and shit of October?
Honestly, no. Well, one, you don't get that in October. October is the best month of the year for dog walking. It's hoodie weather. It's comfortable. I would always prefer to walk in the cold than the heat because I can always add another layer and make myself warmer. I cannot Well, it wouldn't be legal to keep shedding layers. So,
well, speaking of the fall, if you like that transition, we went from hand soap to playoffs. Did you know I was going there?
I didn't, but well done.
Look at that. So the playoff schedule was officially released. I guess Ron Darling was wrong on the broadcast when he said that Game 7 was going to be November 7th. And I was like, oh, cool. Maybe the parade will be November 9th.
Oh, that's where you got that from.
Yeah. If you look at it here, the World Series schedule, Game 7 will be Saturday, November 5th, barring any rain delays or
God, it's my
rainouts.
grandma's birthday. I'm going to have to ditch her birthday to go to the World Series.
Yeah. Well, I think the Mets are going to wrap it up before then.
That
But
would be great.
if there is a Game 7, it will be Saturday, November 5th. Granted, we also don't know who's going to have home field advantage.
True.
But that's the schedule for the World Series presented by Capital One on Fox. That's pretty cool, I guess, that they actually had to get that on there.
Yeah.
For branding purposes. But Tim Healy put this up, I think, yesterday. So if you want to check out his Twitter feed for the schedule, it shows, home and away. We obviously don't know if and when the Mets do make it, how it's going to work out with the scheduling that way. But
I just need them to not be a wild card team because my brother's wedding is October 8th. The rehearsal dinner is October 7th, and I will not be able to attend
October 8th. So October 8th would be the Saturday game.
Correct.
Would be the wild card NL A Game 2 and B Game 2, which we don't even know what that means yet until we see who's going to be playing. But if you look here on the top, A means the competing club with the best record, and B is the second best record or something like that.
Right.
So check that out on Twitter and figure it all out for yourself. Obviously, we won't know much about it until the season's over, but I don't know if I said this yet, but I titled the show 105 wins because when you take a step back from last night and the 1 hour rain delay and Cookie Carrasco going back out there, which I had him for 4 strikeouts in my parlay. So I was like, yeah, I want him to go back out there. Because before that, he only had 1.
I know he only had 40 something pitches, but I was also like,
he's also
why? He wasn't on it.
He's not a spring chicken.
Yeah.
Not that he's my age by any means.
And he didn't have his best stuff anyway. It was an hour rain delay. I get you wanted to save the bullpen, but can't you kind of see the writing on the wall of where this is going anyway?
Well, you know what? Also, I put out a tweet last night when they were losing 2-0 or 3-0. It was a barely drizzling at that point. And I wrote on Twitter, it's pouring, call the game, doubleheader tomorrow. And
I was wishing that would happen just because it was against Strider, and that would be the Mets actually getting lucky, was that the game was just called and they had to start over and none of that counted.
But clearly I was only saying that because the Mets were losing, I think 3-0 at that point. And the people that don't get sarcasm on the internet were like, they can't do that. It's only going to be a passing, a stray shower. It would be a suspended game tomorrow. Jeez.
Twitter needs a sarcasm font. I've been saying this for years.
A different
font.
sarcasm.
Yeah, a different font that when you see it, this is not to be taken seriously. I think it would
what the stars mean when you put a word around asterisk or something like that? Instead of it being capital, you're at if you're going to write actually and you put you know what I mean? When you're writing something I
want to know what you mean, but I don't.
know what I mean. I'm going to show it to you.
Show me later.
Yeah, I'll show you later. So that's the story. That game had shellac written all over it after the
I didn't
rain
watch
delay.
much. I saw the beginning. So I was doing a class at the gym and I had my phone set up on YouTube TV. It was leaning against my water bottle so I could watch it while I was doing the class. And then when the class ended, I had to leave. I was going to my brother's house and I really did not pay attention to the rest of it. And I looked up and it was just 9-1. I was like,
well, speaking of YouTube TV, I appreciate you trying to help me the other day.
I tried.
Get to watch the game. I ended up watching it on my phone on the SNY app from the track, which I did not want to do because I wanted to still be able to go on Twitter. So whatever I may do and figured it out. But last night, what is it, 13-1 or something? Last night had meaningless, Lucas Duda a home run written all over it, ninth inning home run. And the reason why I'm talking home runs is because if you haven't seen the home run apple coffee mugs, which were wildly popular, we sold them out twice already, got delivered yesterday.
They're back, baby.
I didn't know, which is crazy because we knew they were coming in soon, and then they all of a sudden showed up, and the company that we make them through didn't know they were coming yesterday. It was a really confusing thing. So
but it's perfect timing for fall. Hot chocolate, pumpkin spice lattes, apple cider. Put it in your apple mug.
A home run apple coffee mug. So if you haven't heard, we're doing this. Remember back in the day, we had the Conforto t-shirt with the apple, and we only restocked them if you hit a home run.
Yeah.
So we'd sell them out and then be like, all right, next home run, we put them back. So we also did that for the Pete Alonso, the Polar Pete. I remember we had a new batch ready to go and waited until he hit the home run, his next home run. So the home run apple coffee mug is going to be, similarly restocked. So after the next Mets home run, we have 1,000 coffee mugs. A full pallet of coffee mugs got delivered yesterday. That's more than we've had for each of the last 2 drops. So pay attention to the game. If you're watching the game and they hit a home run at any point tonight or tomorrow or Thursday, whenever the next home run would be, you can get your hands on a coffee mug. So
fun.
I already sent out an email about it. I made a little Instagram reel. I posted about it on Facebook. It is all over Twitter. So if you know, you know. I'm not going to send out another email until, I don't know, maybe like the morning after. So the people who know. And if you're interested in getting one, hit up the site.
And watch the game.
And watch the game, obviously. And if you can't watch the game for whatever reason, make sure you have like your MLB at Bat app to send you like alerts.
Yes, turn on those noties.
Maybe your watch goes off every 2 seconds like mine. So that's the case with that. A fan yesterday wrote me a very angry email.
I love the angry emails you get. They're so funny.
Because they said that they live on the West Coast, so they won't be able to.
Is that what they're mad about?
I see the confusion on your face. They won't be able to order the mug when the home runs hit because there's a time difference.
Well, see, sweetie,
the
home run is still being hit at the same
just
moment.
like our friend that watching us in Germany right now. It is not. We're not living in 6 o'clock tomorrow, right?
People are so silly.
So the home run, no matter what time the home run is hit,
just go to the website.
No matter what time, if you don't have to wait until let's say tonight, Pete Alonso hits a home run at 7:45 p.m.
Right.
You don't have to wait until 7:45 p.m.
Is the argument
California.
like, oh, I'm at work and I can't.
I don't know.
Looking?
I wrote back to them like, I don't know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wrote. I was like, I don't know what you're getting at.
Right.
And they wrote back like, forget it. I was like, all right, sorry.
It's okay.
You know what I want to know?
But you're also a very, like, you travel, but you're an East Coast based brand.
I was right.
It's not your responsibility to make sure everyone's out of work and able to access, like,
I don't know.
Silly.
Julia, this is the internet. I don't know. So that's the story.
Bless.
So next home run, that's the case. That's the deal. So Kevin and Callie said it wasn't him. I know it wasn't him. So yeah, whatever. That's the story. So get your hands on them. I am going to be 100% honest. They are $1 more expensive than they were the last time we produced them. The shipping prices for the freight was like insane getting them to us. So
everything's more expensive now.
It's $1.
It's
$1
what
extra.
it is.
So that's the case with that. So set a mental note because you can't set an alarm for the next home run. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. So Luis Guillorme out for like a month.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which is a big blow because obviously Luis.
Isn't it crazy that no, nothing against Luis Guillorme, but like if I told you like a couple years ago, we'd be sitting here and be like, oh, losing Luis Guillorme for a month is like kind of detrimental to our team.
Yeah.
He's been amazing this year. And it's true. And it's like, I wasn't expecting, like, not that I want anybody else to get hurt, but like of all the Mets you could tell me, I'm like, if they get hurt, it's probably not a big deal. I feel like off the top of my head, it would be like, oh, Guillorme. But now that it's happened, I'm like, well, fuck. He's so important. Their defense has been everything this year, and he's such a big part of that. So that sucks.
Yeah. So, I mean, right now it's weird, too, because Nito, did they say he has COVID? What's up with
No, but
Tomas
basically
Nito?
they said a non-injury related illness, which is just code for COVID. But Nito had COVID earlier this year. Correct me if I'm wrong, fact checkers, but I'm pretty sure he already had COVID this year.
That's not like a thing.
No, I know. You totally
Well,
can.
initially we were told you can only get it once, and then you're like, you're scot-free.
I know you can get it again.
Right?
That's not what I meant by that. I'm just like, we saw Tomas Nito the day before, like high-fiving his whole team and like clearly was in contact. So I don't know if it was like, oh, he was exposed. Oh, he actually has it. But like, there's just no real rules anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, and that's why I was confused
like if anyone was exposed, like the whole team can't play.
You couldn't come to Old Timers Day if you don't have the vaccine shot. And I was like, well, is that still a thing? Like, do you still have to be vaccinated?
I don't know. The CDC has literally said you don't even need to quarantine anymore. Not that I'm saying I agree with that or whatever, but like, it's just, I feel like there's no rules right now that actually you know how to follow. So I'm assuming it's COVID. I don't know if he has it. I don't know if they would sideline him just because he was exposed at this point. That's what I was saying. So I don't know. Yeah.
So we talked about Cookie already. I mean, he said that it was just precautionary. He took himself out. He didn't want to like further push through any kind of tightness. And I guess, once you're warmed up and you're sitting and you go back at it, any athlete or not even athlete, for like the gym or something, or playing kickball or whatever, you might be like, all right, I sat, now I'm cold, and now, I'm a little sore. Let me just take it easy, So hopefully this is no big setback for him. It's crazy to think like, such a big piece of the puzzle here with the rotation. You're looking at, Cookie Carrasco, and tonight hopefully Taijuan Walker comes through big. But then you're like, well, we have Max,
I know,
and we have Jake,
I know.
and like hopefully
but like,
everything stays fine.
That's the thing, is we need to have them, because all of the pitchers this year, I'm thinking pretty much the entire rotation except maybe Bassett, but he had COVID. But like, they've all kind of had some sort of injury or something that they've been like battling off. So it really is a matter of maintaining their health through the postseason. Like, they're all dealing with something.
Yeah, and they've already talked to McGill and Peterson, and we're like, "Are you guys okay being not really? Are you okay with it? Like, you're
this is what we're.
You're a team player. Like, you're probably gonna go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
So we do have backups. So that's cool. We have like 7 guys.
But again, got to get McGill back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But it's crazy too. Like, Escobar's playing, but he can only hit lefty.
I know.
So that's not a great sign either. He's not a spring chicken either. He's already has 10 years in the bits.
That's what like begs the question. I'm like, you have some pretty good infielders.
Right. I wrote that down. When are they going to call these guys up? So yesterday, Buck was asked, like, what's up? Are you going to bring up Batty and Vientos? And he's like, well, as of 4:06 p.m., no.
Yeah.
But like, if you read the feeds of like Joe DeMayo, shout out to the Mets pod and all these other guys that know way more than we do.
Yes.
Mets up, all those dudes. They're saying like, or at least Joe wrote, he wouldn't be surprised if by like this weekend in Philly, these guys are up.
Well, I mean, if Eduardo needs to, I think it's like silly to force him to play through an injury where you have, and Eduardo Escobar has not been, phenomenal this year. I feel like he's very streaky. He has his spurts where he's like hot, and then
he had
ice cold.
His cycle night.
Yeah, exactly. He's been very streaky, but that like of anyone that you could be like, okay, you know what? Maybe let's just let him get right. And we'll, it's not like it's Lindor or somebody who it's like, we need this guy on the field every day if he can play. Because even if he's at 50%, that's better than most people at 100.
Right.
I don't think Eduardo Escobar is one of those players where it's like, let's just make sure he's good for, the stretch in September, October, and call up one of these guys and see if they can help us in September and October. So
right. And it's not like the days of yesteryear where you're like, you don't want to start the clock because then you got to pay these guys. Like, they didn't want to bring up Pete Alonso right away a couple years ago, and thankfully they did. But yeah, we're getting down to like, I don't know when the date happens when they get to expand the rosters.
I don't know,
and bring extra guys up sometime in September. I don't know if the rules changed this year. I don't know. Baseball's crazy now, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I guess we'll find out soon. But you mentioned Lindor, who now has the most RBI by a Mets shortstop in the history of our franchise.
For a single season.
Yes. And it is August 18th. 16th. I can't see him.
But that's even better. 16th.
Yeah. So we have some time. Do you wear glasses?
Never.
So I got those glasses that you saw I was wearing on the show a couple times, and I really should be wearing them when I'm on the computer, which I am for most of the day. I stopped wearing them for like a couple weeks, not on purpose. I just like didn't wear them. And then when I put them on today, I was like walking into walls again. It's like my whole like peripheral is like off. I'm like banging into the doorways.
You got to recalibrate.
Yeah, I got to get back on it because it's crazy. Like I was out yesterday morning. We went out to breakfast. Shout out to Toast and Pat Jug. Oh, that's the place. Remember I left
Toast.
I left the coffee mug there.
The mug.
So we were saying like, oh, I wonder if it's in rotation. Amelia spotted it like across the restaurant. She's like, it's right there. So
I don't think Amelia needs glasses.
She saw it on someone's table, and I was like, I couldn't even read the receipt.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? I'm like trying to leave the tip, and I'm like,
literally every time we go out to dinner, my parents like will just start cursing.
It's daytime, and I'm sitting there like this with my my flashlight. Like, is that a 6? Is that a 3?
It's like an integral part of my parents going out to eat now. It's like if they don't have their glasses, they can't order. They can't read the menu. Yeah,
there's a place we go to sometimes. I don't know if you've ever been there, called Painters.
Yes, for Kelly's birthday.
Okay, their menu is great. I love that place. I love like the vibe. The nachos are awesome, gigantic pile. But there's so many things in the menu, and so the font's very small. Tiny. I can't fucking see it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I gotta bring my glasses to a place like that. So I put them on. I'm like the old man, and I put them in my pocket when I'm done. So anyway, next week in the Bronx, I do want to go to the game next Tuesday because if the Mets win on Monday with Max on the hill, then Jake would be on the bump for a 4-game season sweep of the Yankees.
Let's go.
The Yankees currently are 2-8 over the last 10. They're a pretty horrible team.
I think the Mets kind of
since,
sent them into
July.
a spiral a little bit.
I guess. I don't know. So we heard about the big bad Yankees and the Dodgers and the Astros and the Mets, and all these powerhouse teams that were doing their business in the middle of the season. And over the past month, the Yankees have kind of taken a step back. But whatever. They're the Yankees. They'll probably figure it out.
Right.
So next Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm going to hope to be there next Wednesday for the game. Even if I go by myself, like, I think that after I saw the content that was consumed on just like our Instagram from when I walked around for like an hour before the outing.
Just don't get beat up.
I'm friendly. Like, I don't like start shit. Like,
but that it doesn't matter when you're in the Bronx with Yankees fans
like,
and like their house.
No, because I'm not a dick. I'm not like.
But they also know. Oh, this is the 7-line guy. It's not like you're just a Mets
care.
fan. I don't know.
I don't think they care.
Just be careful.
But I think with me,
if you're gonna go around recording people,
but
that's what I'm saying. Be careful.
Even with like that guy that was dressed as the judge, I was like friendly with him. You know what I mean? So
I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
like I thought that was funny.
You kind of clown around with people and still joke. You know, like, so I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
But who knows? Maybe in 2 weeks I come to the show and you pop this on and I have a black eye. I don't know. But I think
adding to your facial decor this season, the glasses, the beard, let's throw in a black eye.
Yeah.
How else can we decorate your face?
Oh, I'm sorry. Monday and Tuesday is next week. My bad. It's not Tuesday, Wednesday. So so right after, there's no off day. So after, this is why we have the fact checkers.
This is why they're here.
So if you're listening to this as a podcast and you knew I was wrong a minute ago and now I'm correcting myself.
You gotta watch the visual live
because
show.
The content on the side here is great. So I'm gonna shoot for Tuesday.
Okay.
So Monday is Max. Tuesday is Jake.
This is next week.
Yes.
So we do our show.
And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave early. So I'm probably gonna drive. Get there early, walk around River Ave, say what's up to Ball Vinny, and I'm friendly with Yankee fans. Like it's more so like the rivalry is fun just to like talk shit.
I agree.
But I'm not like gonna fist fight over the Mets.
No, and I don't think you would start or instigate anything, but I just think when you're around drunk idiot Yankee fans and you're the Mets guy.
I'm not the Mets guy. That's you saying it. People hate that.
But that's what I'm saying is like that's how people will view you and you become a target, not on your own doing. Just be careful.
I'll be all right.
Okay.
I think it'll be a fun time. But you know what I am going to do? I'm going to need help of some kind of local bodega or someone to help me with this goal of mine. Mm-hmm. So you know how I've been doing my sweeping videos?
Yes.
And people think that like I'm trying to pull a fast one, that it's not actually a green screen. I've been using the same clip, which you've probably seen now 5 times, of me sweeping in the room next door in the green room here.
Yeah.
Like 4 years ago, I filmed that clip. So I'm wearing like the New York camo V-neck pullover, which we don't sell anymore. I'm going to have to go to a bodega and borrow a broom and then ask a stranger, maybe I'll wait for a Mets fan to walk by, if I could stand out front and do a live video of that. Not live, but I'll record it.
I was about to be like, why can't you just buy a broom?
So I can't walk around with a broom all night.
I didn't realize this was at Yankee Stadium. I thought
I'm going to borrow a broom. Be like, hey, I'll give the guy like $20.
Yeah.
Like, hey, dude, like at the bodega, can I borrow this? Here's a 20 spot. And I'll like walk over to the front of Yankee Stadium and film that.
Yeah.
But you know how you can use in Reels? I don't know if you do Reels, but you did the video recently with the dog and the Diaz.
Yeah, I did that.
Was that TikTok?
I filmed it on my phone and then just uploaded it to TikTok.
Okay. So you can click a sound and save it and use it.
Okay.
So that's how you make a reel. So I'm teaching you something. I'm 41 years old.
Yeah, this is great.
So I will then click on our old video, save the audio, and then just use the same Meet the Mets beat over the video clip of me actually sweeping in front of Yankee Stadium. But first things first, Max has to win on Monday.
Yes.
So then on Tuesday, I'll go with this whole agenda in mind.
Yeah.
And that'll be awesome.
Yeah, Max, don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
He's got a whole plan.
It will be fun. So if you happen to be going there next Tuesday, let me know. Maybe we'll meet up and hang out a little bit before the game. I'm going to go solo.
If you want to back up Darren if he gets in a fist fight, let him know.
Yeah, maybe I got to bring some muscle. Someone wants to help me out there. So don't forget, this Saturday in Philly, we were invited to throw out a ceremonial first pitch. And how does that happen? Sell 1,500 tickets and you automatically just get an email that says, hey, who are you going to send to throw the first pitch? Not thinking that it might be a Mets fan.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that's the story for this Saturday. And in years past, we've done like a lottery where we go through like every order number and pick a random person. Not that that person is any less important than anyone else that sits with us, but since it's been given to us and I don't want to do it because I will only throw out the first pitch if I'm actually asked to do it, not a group thing. I asked Indart, as we talked about last week.
Yes.
So Indart is going to throw out the first pitch, the general, Andrew Indart, who for a long time, never missed an outing. And then he missed one for some reason. I can't remember. It was like someone's birthday or something. He couldn't, he couldn't miss that party. And then from then on, I mean, I'm not shitting on him. He's got a life, but he misses one every once in a while. So he's been to a lot of games. I think probably just under me, maybe him and Shu have been to like everything.
Yeah.
So that's the story. So Indart is going to throw out the first pitch. So I put out a little poll yesterday.
I was the first vote.
Oh yeah, that's what everybody thinks.
No,
it's just that it didn't refresh yet. Just like when people think they're the right commenter.
But you sent it to us as soon as you posted it.
True.
I am convinced I was the first vote, and I think I had the correct answer.
Okay. So here is the general. If you don't know, that's him and his beautiful wife Amanda in Baltimore many years ago before they were married. But that's him. If you need a refresher. So I put out a tweet yesterday on the 7 Lines Twitter, and I'm letting it run until 4 days from now. So on Friday, the night before, I don't know if he's going to get a little nervous. He was going to take the bus. And now he's driving.
Yeah, I would be nervous too. Well, God forbid, like for whatever reason, the bus doesn't get there in time, and then he'll just be stewing amongst like everyone.
I would probably be so stressed out if I was on the bus thinking, all right, I'm going to throw.
And you have like no control over your ETA.
Right. So this is my question to you.
Yeah.
There's a couple of rest stops on the way down.
Okay.
Do you think he stops on the way and
Warms
practices?
Starts stretching. Honest to God, like I don't know if I think be stretching out my arm all day just instinctually. Like, not that you need to stretch that much to throw one pitch, but I'm sure he'll be practicing in advance.
You're also like never allowed to do it from the rubber. You're like a few feet short of it. But so 60 feet is the normal 60 feet.
Like,
6
when
inches.
was the last time you threw a baseball that far?
I mean, have you seen my MVP fucking trophy over here?
So the answer is what, 2019, 2020? What year was that?
After winning
2020.
This award in 2020, I never need to touch a baseball again for the rest of my life.
But that's fine. But that's still like 2 years ago. That's a long time.
Can you read the bottom of that? What does that say? Just read that to me. I can't read it. I don't have my glasses. What does that say?
It says 2020 New York Mets fantasy camp MVP. On the back, it says, but give it a rest already. We all know.
I am going to cherish this. Thank you to the Academy. I worked really hard on this. I
am leaving
all off season. I sat and envisioned this and focused and hit the batting cages.
Is it my tokens yet?
And I just want to thank everyone for voting for me. And this is a tremendous honor. And I really just thank you everyone for voting. Thanks to Julia.
Don't thank me. I had nothing to do with this. I'll eat your rice again.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so I probably haven't thrown a ball. I definitely haven't swung a bat since that day.
Right, but that's so getting back to where we started. I'm sure he would want to have a practice.
Okay.
That's all.
So let's get to this poll, because if you're listening, oh shit, we're flying through this.
I know.
We have a lot to talk about still. All right. So get to the poll. You know what's funny? In the morning of each show, and I'm like, all right,
how are we going to fill
blew out last night? Like, what are we going to talk about? And then we just talk about whatever. And then an hour goes by, and we're like, fuck.
Well, yeah, you gave a 5-minute thank you speech for an award.
Should have been longer.
2 years ago.
I didn't hear the music start. You know when they like start playing the music?
You control the music.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So here's the tweet. If you didn't hear, the Generals tossing out the ceremonial first pitch at Citizens Bank Park this Saturday before game 1. There's 4 options on this poll: throw a strike, throw a ball, bounce it, or 50 Cent.
I voted 50 Cent. And when I was the first person to do so, it just said 100%.
Well, over 1,000 people voted, and I've actually never seen a poll where the 4 options are almost
pretty close.
Spot on.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 Cent is at 31, and I think people are writing that because they want to see that happen.
Yeah.
No one remembers a good first pitch. So we talked about this. I
actually
think
remember
last year
one.
On the show. Oh yeah, who?
I remember when Chrissy Teigen was drunk out of her mind at the Dodgers game and threw a perfect strike. It was amazing. Yeah, that's how I learned who she was. It was years ago.
So I think we talked about it last year, maybe this year. I don't know. Someone threw it like above the backstop to the netting in Fenway.
Yeah.
And I was like, they do this on purpose because they know the video is going to go viral or people are going to share it.
It was Steve Aoki, I think.
Oh yeah, horrible.
The DJ.
So if Indart throws a strike, we're going to be like, oh, it's great. Good for him.
Right.
But no one else is going to see it or talk about it. But granted, he's throwing this ball to the Phanatic.
Yeah. I forgot it's to the Phanatic. He should just try to hit him in the head.
So
Not that I'm inciting violence or anything, but I'm inciting violence. Hit him in the head.
So he's throwing the ball to the Phanatic on Saturday. Game's at 1. I'm assuming this pitch will be like 12:50.
Yeah.
So make sure you get in there early. Get your cameras out. I'm going to be out there with him on as close as I can get onto the field, filming. And I'll put together a reel.
Please do the Edwin Diaz challenge and film him walking out and put the music in the
there'll be
background.
like multiple edits from the footage.
That's all I want.
But that will be funny. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm sure I'll try to edit it maybe right after the game so I can like hear it while I'm putting music over and shit like that. So don't forget also, if you are taking the bus, I'm not going to be on the bus. Lizzie's not going to be on the bus. Now Andrew's not going to be on the bus. There's not going to be anyone like
no parents
in charge. To like wrangle where to be and stuff like that. So I'm sure we'll find out. I'll get the guest list or whatever, the rider list, and see if there's someone that I know that I have their phone number or something, like text me if there's any issues type thing. But MTA lot, Southfield lot, right on Roosevelt Avenue next to the train. The reason why they picked that is because if anyone's taking the train to get on the bus, they just walk down the steps and the buses will be right there. So 9 a.m. sharp, MTA lot, Southfield lot, whatever you want to call it. Don't be late, because if the bus shows up and everyone gets on and you're not there in time, they will leave.
The bus leaves at 9?
It said 9:10 on the site to give them like a 10-minute buffer, but 9 a.m. Get there at 8:30.
Yeah, get there early.
Plan early.
Anticipate traffic. Anticipate like a car fire.
Right. And
just
get
not
there.
Yours, hopefully. But.
So once you get there, the buses will drop you off in enough time to head up Xfinity Live. It's usually like a 2-hour ride from Citi Field to Citizens Bank. So you should get there around 11. Shoot on over to Xfinity, hang out with us before we get into the game, and then obviously watch and dart. Maybe throw 50 Cent-ish or Baba Booey or whoever is bad at throwing a first pitch, or maybe he'll throw a strike. Jared Carabas?
Yes.
He left Barstool, got picked up by DraftKings.
Yes.
He threw out the first pitch at Fenway a couple nights ago, and he threw a perfect strike.
Wow. He's like a big Red Sox fan, too.
He's a huge fan. He's a huge Sox fan.
That's awesome.
And I think he was allowed to do it from the rubber.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. So we'll see what happens with Indart. I would be a little nervous.
Doing anything, being on the field and everyone staring at me would make me nervous, let alone let's all watch him do something that like we came here to watch professionals do. Yeah. That's a lot of pressure.
So good luck to him. Maybe he will be warming up the wing on the way down. I don't know if he's been practicing at all this week, but we will see. So next things up for us, we have August 31st, and it might be sold out by now, so I don't know if I'm just like wasting my time here.
Pending no disasters, I will be there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, let's go.
So Mets.com/the7line Army, the next outing that is up and available right now, I think they're still available. It says buy tickets here, so I think it is. Wednesday, August 31st, versus the Dodgers, as we've been saying, is a very important game. Mm-hmm. I would love the Mets to have the best record in the National League going into the playoffs. And the only way that's going to happen is to beat the Dodgers or continue to play better than them. But obviously beating them or winning either a sweep or 2 out of 3 against them will be great. Helps bigly. Wednesday, August 31st. It is a Wednesday game. It's a little bit different for us. We usually do weekends, but Dodgers are in town. You got to pick a Dodger game.
And it's a night game.
Night game, 7:10. We will be pre-gaming prior in the Marina lot. I'm sure we'll put something up about that soon. And then the last game of the regular season is Wednesday, October 5th versus the Nationals. It is a 7:10. Wait, is that right? No, that doesn't seem right. That says August 13th twice on here.
No. That's August 31st. Oh, that's the Phillies weird. Game. That's the game that already happened.
Yeah, that's weird that's on there. Anyway, so the final game of the year is October 5th against the Nationals at Citi Field. So if you want to join us at Citi, that is the next chance to do so. Yes. Those tickets go up next week.
And remember, if you want to be able to buy a playoff strip, you need to have sat with the 7 line this season.
That is exactly what I was getting at.
Perfect.
QuadrinoDogCare.com. Is it .com?
Yes, .com.
Look at that.
No, please don't. Oh, I was like, don't go to it.
No, I'm not.
I haven't updated it in so long.
I'm pulling up our little post that we have here about the group, because if you go to the 7line.com and on the top it says join the 7-Line Army, you want to click that, and it shows the breakdown of games that we've had so far. This season we are 8-4. We are 8-2 at home. Unfortunately, we lost in Colorado and we lost in Anaheim. So besides that, we are 8-4. We are overall 74-59. Next up, like I just said, will be October 5th against the Nationals at Citi Field. Those tickets go up on the 24th. So I think that's next week at 10 o'clock on Mets.com/the 7-Line Army. The reason why we are talking about that again is, like Julia said, the season ticket members, it's not a season ticket, it's a home package
Right.
members now have the option to purchase their playoff strip. After September 6th, that is when the deadline is to purchase for those fans to either opt in or opt out.
Right.
There's no penalty if they do not opt in. They don't lose their seats for 2023. I had to forget what year it is. For 2023, they can renew after the season if they choose to. But any available open seat will then go to a public sale. When I say public sale, that means, like you said,
right.
only fans who have sat with us this season at Citi Field. They'll have the option to log in and attempt to purchase these tickets.
Not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed, but you have a better chance than it being completely open to the public. So if you sat with us this year, then you have the option to then purchase those tickets. So after September 6th, we'll see how many seats are left, and then we will put up the appropriate dates of when these tickets are going to go up, and then you'll have the option to purchase them. Remember last week, and I was like, wow, that has to be a typo. Our tickets are $100 less.
Yeah.
That was not a typo. So we actually
for that one series,
for whatever reason, it's more expensive to purchase on the single game side than
that's so strange.
The members. So the members, I don't know if they realized it, how good that perk is to have.
Got it good.
I was talking to Drew about this prior also. If you have a partial ticket plan, you can't buy a full strip. And when you do, it's not in your actual seat.
Really?
Because let's say you have seat 1 of whatever section.
Yeah.
And then someone else has that for the other,
you got to split it.
Yeah. So they move you.
Wow.
Our seats, 12 games for the home season, and then you get the same seat for every playoff game, which is pretty incredible.
Such a sick deal.
So speaking of deals, tell our friends about TickPick.
Of course. TickPick. Well, it's funny. We were talking about, and I was going to try and segue into it earlier, but I didn't know if you want to get into TickPick yet. But we were talking about, we wonder if there's any tickets left for Old Timers Day.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we should check out. Because if you're going to get tickets to any game, especially like a something like this that might be more sought out, you want to go to TickPick to make sure you're getting the best deal and the cheapest ticket possible. So it's August 27th,
yes,
I believe. Are there tickets available?
There are. You can get in for $26.
That's a deal.
Which is insane because I was looking last night and I guess prices went down a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you're looking on the site right now, when it says quantity here, you can decide, if you want to go with 10 friends or 9 friends or 2 friends or by yourself. Click that, and then it gives you the options. So this is for Old Timers Day, specifically Saturday, August 27th. Like Julia just said, it is a 7:10 game. I'm not exactly sure what time the Old Timers festivities start, but you could scroll through, select where you want to sit. It gives you a star rating, so the best deals to the lowest prices, whatever you want to filter it by. But best part is what? No fees.
No fees.
The price you see is the price you pay, and then it instantly goes into your Ballpark app. It could not be easier. So hit up tickpick.com. What about the promo code, Julia?
Yes, if you are a first-time user using a new account, you can use our promo code OABT, and you'll receive $10 off any purchase of $99 or more. So ball out, get a nice seat, bring friends, use the code, and enjoy.
Absolutely. And if you haven't heard, if you missed the beginning of the show, next Tuesday, we will have an old timer on our show.
I need to know who it is.
You'll find out when I turn this off. So it's going to be a fun time. We are almost up to the hour here. So thank you guys for checking in so far. I noticed that Real Black has some new songs on, and one of them went a little, I don't know if it's viral, but it was a little bit more popular. I wasn't shitting on his view count, but you know how I was saying, like, oh, it's crazy how some of these only have like
it's just for him because he likes it.
Because he loves it.
And that's what I find endearing about it.
I'm going to scroll down, and one of them had like 14,000 I saw a couple days ago. I think it was after a Vogelbaum blast. Let me scroll down. I should have this ready. That one has 1,000. That's not it. I do also want to talk about this with the dip.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got shit on for asking a question yesterday, because that's the internet for you. Where is it? I'm sorry. I'm blowing it here.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. You can't see the pictures that he's scrolling through, but his feed is
he retweets the best
magic.
stuff. It's very funny. Here we go. 19,000. Okay,
wow.
let me get the audio going here. If you don't follow Real Black 14 on Twitter, you should. So let's hear what this one is.
I think the volume's up on the video.
I'm going to turn it up.
Okay.
But this is also he's used this same jingle for a different player. I can't remember who it was last time, but this is a new one from him.
Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Take your boogie. Yeah. Rock your body. Yeah. Take your boogie. Rock your body right. Vocal back.
So that's Backstreet.
Backstreet. Rock
All right,
Your
so he's
Body.
done a Backstreet one a couple times. I don't know who else.
I feel like I've heard it on this show too. We played another one that played that song, but it was meant for Daniel Vogelback.
Yeah,
so good.
Excellent. So a little cross promo. If you haven't seen Vogie, he was on our friends on We Gotta Believe. So check that out last week. It seemed very interesting, and they had the off day on Thursday, so he was in studio with the We Gotta Believe boys.
Nice.
So check that out if you want to see a little behind the curtain type interview with Vogelback, who kind of took the Mets fan base by storm. Let's get to the share contest because we haven't talked about that yet, and I'm running out of time. So each week we give away stuff from our friends at Coney Island Brewing. This week is no different. It's very simple. I have my sounds, I'm not going to do it. If you have the internet, which you obviously do because you're watching us or listening to us, go over to Twitter. Find this episode, hit the retweet button. That's how you're putting the running. If you're on Facebook, hit the share button. Same deal. We go through and randomly select one person from each platform to win free stuff. Each week we have koozies, we have hats, we have shirts, we have bottle openers, we have a bunch of stuff. And it's all co-branded Coney Island Brewing and the Mets because they are an official partner of the Mets. Their beer is for sale at the ballpark, and also Maimonides or whatever it is. Maimonides in Coney Island. We love them. The beer is delicious and it's extremely tasty. We will get to a special promo with them for a second, but
fact checkers are letting us know it's 12:55. Thank you, fact checkers.
Oh, thank you, fact checkers. Thank you, Eli, in the comments here. We are almost done here. I appreciate it. So this week's winners on Twitter, and I already contacted them.
Wow.
On Twitter, Jotero83, and on Facebook, Ed Coppinger. Ed is a member of ours at the section.
Awesome.
And it just worked out that he is a winner. So Ed, we will contact you in a little bit. But if you haven't done so yet, you absolutely need to. Oh, shit, I didn't have this banner on the entire time on the bottom. Look at that. I'm turning it on with a few minutes left, which is very poor of me.
That's all right.
If you have not got involved yet to win the season tickets from the Cyclones, I don't know what you're waiting for. Maybe you're using your phone right now to watch us and you don't want to do this because you don't want to lose the feed. So do it afterwards.
Yes.
But very simple to do. Get into the sweepstakes to win the season tickets for next season from Coney Island. This is an incredible deal. Costs you absolutely nothing. Just go and text them the words Coney Mets, no space, 855-933-4223. I'm very impressed. I read that without my glasses.
Very good.
You win the 2 season tickets for next season, a $100 Coney Island Brewery gift card, and a whole bunch of swag, shirts, hats, pint glasses, so on and so forth. Definitely go check them out next time you're at Citi Field. They are located behind Section 114, selling their limited edition releases in addition to the Mermaid, the Merman, and the Beach Beer. And definitely stop by as well in Coney Island if you happen to be checking out Coney Island or hitting the beach down there before the end of the season, the end of the summer, maybe hitting a Cyclones game. They are located in the ballpark, but you don't have to be going to a game in order to get in. It's outside, kind of like McFadden's used to be. So 1904 Surf Ave, Brooklyn, New York, 11224. Definitely check them out. Julie's going to tell you the name of the ballpark again because I don't remember how to say it.
Maimonides.
Check them out. Bunch of taps, 12 taps of limited edition brewery only exclusives, a full kitchen, indoors and outdoors. They have a lot of fun events. Definitely check out their Instagram. They have like comedy shows there, live music. I love a good bar that with live music. I'm all about the vibe and the atmosphere more so than the food, which I'm going to get to in a second because this is a weird transition.
Better make it a quick second.
I'm sitting in traffic headed home from the race. Very quickly. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to be in Philly this weekend. I don't eat meat anymore. Let me search how I can get like a vegetarian cheesesteak.
Right.
So I screenshot a couple places, put it on Twitter, and I'm like, hey, this is obviously not a question for anyone. To my fellow veggies out there, have you been to these places? Any recommendations? People are like, why don't you eat meat like a real man? I'm like, I don't judge my manhood on what I eat, by the way. Like, maybe if you want to judge manhood, it's like how tough you are. How about like provide for your family? It's pretty manly, I think. Provide for not like
having an income,
eat steak,
not living in your mother's basement and trolling on the internet.
Maybe you could judge manliness a little differently than me.
Right.
It's not like let me go fist fight Yankee fans and eat steak. It's being a dad or something. I don't know if that's manly to you. So that's the story. I think we got through everything. Thanks to Coney Island. Thanks to Tick Pick. Thanks to you guys for checking in.
Yeah.
Shout out to Old Timers Day. Thanks to Jay Horowitz for hooking this up for next week. We're gonna have a guest on the show.
Don't know who it is.
Next week we will be live here, and hopefully you'll be here too. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Put it back. Do it.
Put it back.
Put it back. Oh my God. All right. I'm
We need
losing
the
it.
button back.
Bye.